Are you like me and you find that now you now have mature skin? You might have dark under eyes. I have a little bit. You might have redness on your face. You might have blemishes, scarring. Oh, and those darn fine lines and wrinkles, laugh lines that we now have. If you're like me and you find you have those now and not sure how to take a makeup routine that looks like you're not wearing makeup and to have your skin looking like skin as natural as possible, then stay tuned because I have found cream foundation highlights and they changed my makeup routine and I fell in love with them and I fell in love with how my skin looks when I'm wearing them. So I wanted to get down to the nitty-gritty today of what are cream foundation highlights. So if you're at all interested, please stay tuned because I want to share it all with you. So I'm Stylist Seint, and this is my YouTube channel. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, and I am a Seint artist, and I have found these cream foundation highlights, and they changed my makeup routine. So, do you need all these highlights to change your makeup routine? No, you may need 2 or 3 of them, and they will totally, when your color match properly, totally give you a flawless complexion. So why cream foundation highlights? What are the benefits of them? And I'm just going to flash on here and show you a couple of my before and after photos and show you how they can have you having a really minimal natural makeup look with very little product that you are wearing. And I totally love that because I don't want to look like I have spent a lot of time putting on my makeup, and I want it to look as natural as possible. And that is the benefit I have found with using cream foundation highlights. Who they are for? So they're for any female or male that wants to wear makeup. They will help you get a color correction on your face and have a very light coverage of makeup. And the reason for this is because they actually act like a second layer of skin on you. They're very thin formula. They have buildable coverage, which means I can easily add on coverage as needed. They look like second skin. They have a natural finish. They don't set into fine lines of wrinkles and your pores. So because it'll still move, it's not like traditional liquid foundation that dries and continues to dry on your face as the day goes through. These ones actually are cream. They lock the moisture in. And they also don't, it's not like a powder foundation that you use that you're adding cakiness to your skin. So you're adding a very natural skin-like finish. The less is more. Like, you don't use much. And I'll probably say that over and over again, that less is more. And as well, they're completely blendable. So if I recommend you 2 or 3 colors, when you put them on your face, they blend to give you that 3D dimensional look or that natural finish where we normally have darker areas and lighter areas on our face anyways. So we want to just make sure that that stays looking like that and not just putting one color of solid foundation. So what I have been learning to do is color match people. And so when you send me a naked selfie or makeup free selfie of your face, I can look at it like I look at my own face right here and see where I have areas of concern. Right now I have redness here, I have a blemish here that I'm covering, I have scars, and I have areas of concern. Everybody's are different. They all make our beautiful features our features. So we need to then look at those, minimize those first with a color. So we have a lot of these colors. They don't look anything like these colors on the website either, and they look totally different on. Now, having said all this, it is a learned technique. This is not something that is that you could just probably go on site, pick a bunch of colors and get them and go, because if I recommended one color that I recommend a lot to people is one out of this row. Now, this row is probably the row I use a lot on my face, and you look at that and say, those are very orange and that. But they don't look like the color in the tin when they get to your face because you're using so little makeup. It's color correcting with the skin, with the colors on your face. You may see a lot of artists that do a dot method on their face and then they blend it all in. And you know, that's totally fine. It's really fine for a lot of younger people to do that. The method that I teach is more one of minimal makeup and color correcting and not putting a lot of makeup to cover stuff. So when we start with a color corrector, we're going to pick something like a mango, and it's really even hard to swatch these on my arm because when you put them on your face, you use so little makeup. So this is mango, and I would use, I have obviously olive skin tanned, but I can say that I recommend this color corrector for 90% of the clients because you can tell more on that one, maybe on that side. It actually will minimize your redness. So let me show you a little example of what I mean for color correcting. I'm just going to find a brush here. So with mango, I'm just going to dap my brush in there lightly and dap that on right there. And see, because of that color has more orange in it, on the color wheel, that blemish is actually more in the purple family. Okay, it's not red because red is like the fire engine red. So if it was red like fire engine red, which that one wasn't, then you would color correct with something more green. But because a lot of our pigments on our face fall in here, then on the opposite is orange and yellows. And orange and yellows are what these foundations are made from so that they can blend in with your face. So we first want to take the darker areas and neutralize them and then add color just to even out the tone of our skin. So where do I put them? So I would show you on a color match form when you fill it out and you get your color match results back to me, where to put them. So we have all of a sudden, so I would start with my color corrector, my darker areas, then my main shade, then my brightener. And once you get and you take time to learn this system, your makeup routine will happen in minutes. You'll have one little palette of makeup and it'll have your colors in them. So for example, if I was to say, what do you need? And you need to, for me, I start with like mango is my color corrector. And then I would say my main shade was sandy. Is here. And then my brightener could be June Candlelit. Or so I could go Candlelit for a brightener. And those would be my three colors. And then all I have to learn is these three colors and where to put them on my face like a paint by numbers. And it's very easy. We do have some new colors that are just being launched this week and a couple others that were just launched in April. So our colors for matching your skin has all of a sudden got a little bit easier and better, because before I would say if you change seasons and I get more tanned and sandy's coming a little light because my skin is more tanned, I could just use a little more mango underneath and it would even out. One of the new ones is called Golden Hour. So if you compare that to mango on my arm, it's a little bit darker. So that's more of a color corrector. If mango isn't quite getting your color correction, it's still popping through, that's where I'd use Golden Hour, which is a new one that we have. So if you come back to me and you've done a color match and you say, ooh, you know what, I'm still finding some of my darkness coming through, we can always shade up there. There's new Hazel, and Hazel is a little bit darker than Sandy. So this is Hazel. And on my arm, you barely see that. But I would never put this much, like when I'm putting this swatch on, I would never put this much on my skin. I'd probably put that much on half my face. But compared to Sandy, it's a little bit darker, a little bit richer. If you're somebody that started with candlelit, a lot of people have candlelit as their main. And for me, it would be a brightener because it's not my color scheme at all. But if candlelit was your main color, and then you're starting to tan a little bit more, then we brought in Athens. So Athens is a color that came out just in April. And this is Athens. And for some people that were on candlelit and need a little bit more, again, on my color skin, this is not going to what it looks like on you, because I should always be doing this on a white piece of paper, because these colors on my skin are taking up my skin pigments. And so if I swatched them on your arm, they would look totally different. And so I guess the moral of the story is get color matched, and we can put this on and it will look like skin for you. And we have a lot of colors that are very exciting so that we can totally match you so that the products look good on your skin. Okay, time out. I am totally oblivious when I have construction noise in the background. I don't even flinch anymore. I've been going through a renovation here since April, and so 3 months in or so. And it's just every day there's noise pollution here from 7:30 in the morning until 5 o'clock in the evening. So if you're hearing that in the background, that's what it is. It's the construction going on in my house, but I decided I was still gonna shoot a video. So back to the video. How long would one of these tins last you? Probably 2 to 4 months, and longer if you don't use it daily, and if you use it very sparingly. So it's not a product you go through fast. What I really want to highlight is how the ingredients in it, because it only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ingredients. I ran out of finger, but 11 ingredients in it. And I can go through what they are, because I think the ingredients in your makeup is somewhat important. And when you actually have ingredients and you can have them all labeled on the back of the tin, and you know what they are. So this makeup is sulfate-free, gluten-free, paraben-free, cruelty-free. It's made in the United States. So it has ingredients of paraffin, and that is a natural emollient that locks in moisture. It has petroleum, and that's also a natural emollient that moisturizes. And I'm going to butcher some of these words. It's got ozarkite wax, which is a natural mineral wax, and that stabilizes the liquid in the cream. Beeswax, and that's a natural wax. It's antibacterial as well as a moisturizer. It's got cytyl esters, which are an emollient for skin conditioning. Lanolin, which is an emollient from wool, again for skin conditioning. Zinc stearate, which is a natural salt and fatty acid, which prevents caking. Phenyloxyethanol, that's a little bit tough for my tongue. It's a natural occurring antibacterial preservative. Iron oxides, which are pigments containing natural minerals. Titanium dioxide, which is, again, natural mineral pigments. And ultramarines, which are clay minerals, and those are most of what's giving your color, and they're pigments. So that's all that's in the makeup. I do find that this makeup technique really helps with color correction. It really helps to neutralize any issues you have on your face, and everybody's face is different. So I find that there is a learning curve, but I help you with that when I do your color correction. And then I'm also willing to do one-on-one videos and whether it's Zoom chats or whatever with people to make sure that they can have their makeup application that works for them, or if they have any issues, we can troubleshoot it, because that's so important. And I do a lot of instructional videos, and I have a step-by-step color match, and then once you get your makeup, I send you videos on how to do your first application, because once you get the hang of how to put on your face, it is like all your makeup will be in like a little compact, and when one of your tins runs out, you just pop that out because it's magnetic compact in tins, and you just replace what you need to replace. So it's not that you're buying things that aren't going to fit you. It's all customized to you. So we have new shades, but don't think you're on this on your own course. Like, we have the shades so that when you have your cream foundation highlights and you get your own, then they'll be color matched for your skin and for your look. So we have them from light until dark, and I took some out. So for all skin types, no matter where you are on the spectrum, we can color match you with foundation highlights. And so cream foundation highlights changed how my skin looks. When I have it on, I get compliments of how young I look, and drives Barrett crazy. That's my husband. But I am in my 50s, and I don't mind looking younger. So if I can help you have more of a youthful look, please reach out. I'll put more comments in my comments under this video, but that's just an introduction to cream foundation highlights with Seint, and I would love to be your makeup artist. So if you have any questions, please reach out. And otherwise, until next time, my friends, live, love, learn, and laugh.